You know, I thought a lot about this question, and there's so many different ways that I could answer this, but after a lot, hello.
Like applaud
Yeah!
and Mark Anthony.
Yeah, I love him.
Wait, Mark Anthony is good though. We'll say good pick.
There we go.
Let's say though, I feel like that's the only Spanish artist any LC student knows though.
No.
I think it would have to be our leaders, Esri, Frankie, Mark Anthony. I think Y would be in there. I think he's not here, but Grace. I also think you would be in there. I think that's my answer.
That's who's eating first. It's just a buffet of 7 of us.
I mean, if not all of us can't come, I think those people have to go.
I thought about this one also.
If you weren't
if I was not
yourself,
myself, I
what
would
member of
be, I
Prov
think,
would you be?
either Mark Anthony or Rosalie. I don't know. It's my stance. It's kind of controversial, but I'm willing to take it. I remember Esri and Rocco doing Poet from Another Land. And Rocco just like picking up Esri and just like shaking them. Oh, the other Esri thing is sometimes they'll be doing a scene or they'll be like typing and they'll move one finger and it's the funniest thing.
I have to say Forum filmed up a gagged, if only because that's the only other one I remember besides Shrimp Cocktail.
During the NSO show, in which I was an audience member, and it like really inspired me. I was like, okay, now I have to do these people are so fun. There's one scene where Esri came in, I think it was during like Freeze or Show Me That or something like that, where Esri just came in and goes, boy, do I sure like swimming. And it just was like out of nowhere. It made me laugh really hard. So I like.
What's funny is right now, the only one that's coming to mind is from the improv from my NSO, which was ages ago, but it's when they were doing the human song. And someone would have, I don't know if we still do this game, but each person has like a word or several word phrase that they repeat, and then they get controlled by a DJ. And Esri's was waffle. And for some reason, I just remember their just really emphatic delivery of this like waffle.
I love how they are very like eccentric and have amazing like over the top moments, but I'd also say like my favorite things that Esri does is just like totally just go completely stoic and out of the scenes like, yes, this is a cafeteria, please take your tray and keep moving. Yes, everyone please. It's mainly like when you point at Esri and say like, they are the lunch lady. And they're like, yes, please, just grab a tray and keep moving.
I did a scene just like at a rehearsal my freshman year that was, we were siblings like going into the woods and like dumping paint on each other. I have no idea if she remembers that, but it really brought the house down. When the house was like Fran and Mark Anthony and Esri, so
Okay.
real aggressive crowd.
I think, I don't remember the name of the game, but it was the like murder mystery one where you like started and then like each person had to like explain the like murder weapon and stuff, but only through gestures. I think that was good.
The Ringo Starr one?
Yes.
I'm gonna do a physical quote. So a body in a physicality.
It's kind of controversial, but I'm willing to take it.
During Dude No Way, Wise just description of the scene, that, because it was so funny. And like I knew exactly what was going on, even if I didn't know what the story was. Like it was so clear, and so like the character was there, the story was there, the fun was there, so that.
In a game where she was a teacher on a school's abroad field trip. They were able to go to Ireland somehow, and Mark Anthony reconnected with his great grandschnoople, but Y was having none of it because they had a tour, they had an itinerary, they had to keep going, and they had to avoid werewolves, I think.
I do admire their just poise throughout the scene and how they don't overplay roles. They're like very mellow, and I think with them less is more, and I think that's why I admire them so much.
We were doing like poetry in another language, and Y gets up there and is speaking in, you know, another language, and Mark Anthony's translating, but Y's ability to just make it so hilarious without using any English words, just start making the funniest sounds, body language, articulations, and it was honestly the most amazing thing, because I would just be like beep boop bop, but they made it into an entire performance, and it was hilarious to watch.
I think one of the most iconic was at the drag show. I think she just had a really good show, and yeah.
I think it has to be foreign film dub that we did at the gag show. I think their drag name, Lightning McQueef.
Shakespeare zone, but with also the musical zone, because when Isabel was in that scene, I thought that was amazing, and she seemed like in her element.
I was very surprised by how good she was, like, right away. Like, I was like, okay, this is like her first time doing improv. It's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be medium, it's gonna be fine. But it was pretty good, like right off the bat. I was a little bit threatened. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool too. She finds more comedy in the mundane, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of very deadpan delivery, which I find very funny. And then she also has very good facial expressions. I love watching her pretend to eat things. Like is very good.
We were playing Pillars, and out of nowhere, someone tapped her on the shoulder. She goes, "The Day of the White Lotus," and that just, I don't know what about that made me laugh so hard, but I sometimes am like going to sleep and I think about that, and I want to know more about what the Day of the White Lotus is.
But there was an alligator, and Isabel, oh, it was the one with the director, Hollywood director, and Isabel was so creative with embodying those choices that the director made. Doing that like alligator musical was just, I realized like, whoa, she is really good, because I hadn't gotten to see her at all for a semester.
We had this outdoor improv show. It was the first, last, and only of the semester, and I think what it was a press conference, and she was John Cena and she didn't know, and I think somebody had to clue her in with the initials JC, and I did, when she did finally like say it, I think there was just a really sense of like, oh god, finally she got it.
It's hard for me to just choose one. I'm gonna bring it back to Judge Expel Him, because that is of all time my favorite improv bit / quote. And not just because of the Judge Expel Him, but the aftermath that followed that. Mark Anthony goes, could you take a step outside? And I think that's what really carried it to the end.
We were doing like a noir musical about a detective. There's a little song. He was like, "Detective, detect this."
Mm-hmm.
Also, everything from Rat Rod. Yeah, that's right. Rat Rod. It's kind of controversial, but I'm willing to take it.
Well, I have one answer, and it is the existence of Rat Rod the musical.
It's kind of controversial, but
Which was the Flushed Away inspired musical game. He hates whenever I bring it up, by the way, but I genuinely thought that it was amazing and everything I ever wanted from improv when I watched it.
The time that Mark Anthony and I were shrimp in Shrimp Cocktail together with 28 legs.
Shakespeare zone, but also that had the musical zone, when he goes, Bentley! And then that one specific, also just that whole scene where they were singing, too funny.
I would say Boobies on the Wall. Chrysanthemum. Classic name, Mark Anthony name. Whenever anyone says that in practice or a game, you know it's from Mark Anthony. It's his genius.
Is that one movie that we did about the two children who were like working in a sewing factory, I think it was, and Mark Anthony just delivered one zinger after another in there. It was hilarious. But we were talking, I think, about how my mom died,
it's kind of controversial, but I'm willing to take it.
and he acted out the craziest thing in, classic Mark Anthony, like, poetic style. It's like, I think she was falling off a cliff or something. The details don't matter. The point was that he described this in the most hilarious way.
I've totally stolen this line from him. It was in Survivor when he was trying to pitch a new sandwich. And he was like, I hate to be combative. I don't know. Just the most random thesaurus owning adjective.
I think their essence is really summed up in Shakespeare's zone, because I think of all of the zones that Esri occupies, you know, sort of like as a dancer, as a theater person. I've just seen their thesis last night. It was brilliant. As a prover, also as like a hairstylist, as a resident advisor, like all sorts of, you know, and being able to move from one to the other quite seamlessly. I think that is really their essence.
Okay, Esri would be show me that. Because, like I said, randomness. Esri, the R in Esri stands for random, and the E, oh, nope, so the R stands for both relevant and random.
Standing, sitting, kneeling.
Esri could be Foursquare because they can really just jump in and out of a scene and like make anything work.
I think they would they might be Poet from Another Land, or they might be Foreign Film Dub or Arms Race.
The genres game, I'd say they can really switch up what they're doing, their accents, their voice, their incantation. So they can do all this stuff IRL because they have what the game taught them.
Poet from Another Land. Because that one time when it was just me, Mark Anthony, Rosalie, and Y, we played that with poetry, and Y came to life. It was amazing. I wasn't expecting that, and it made me laugh so hard that I would like cover my mouth because it was just so entertaining.
Foreign Poet, they were fantastic. It was so funny. They really commit to the bit, and yeah.
I always kind of feel like I'm in a rocky romantic relationship with Y, because whenever I turn around and see what she's doing, it's never what I think. You know, it's never what it looks like. And that's why I think she really embodies blind freeze, you know, always looking at some poses. They heard what was going on, but those poses, they are something else. They're completely reimagined. It's not what you think it is.
I'm gonna go with freeze, because like I said, embodying performance. I think that Y has some incredible poses.
I think that one where we all like get together and like make a machine. I can't remember what it's called, but like, you know, one person starts doing one thing and then another person adds on and starts doing another thing, and then like we have this sort of complex sort of creature. I feel like that's very much her style.
New choice, easily. It quickly devolves into chaos, and that is exactly what happens when you get to know Y.
I think that Y might be standing, sitting, lying, kneeling, but I'm willing to debate that one. I think Shakespeare Zone maybe, or maybe like the genres game or the feelings game, where you're doing a scene and the audience shouts a feeling and you have to take on that feeling.
Foreign Poet Interpreter would be the game I see Isabel.
Movie, because I think that Isabel can really just pick an amazing character. I love seeing Isabel's character work because it absolutely carries a scene.
Foreign language, like foreign film dub, because I sort of the crutch that I lean on for foreign film dub is like my phony French, and she speaks actual French and is good at pronouncing actual French because, you know, vocal performance. So I feel like that reminds me of her.
Only because she's a French major, foreign film dub.
I'd say Pillars, because Isabel is just like a very attentive person, someone who's very tapped in. And when they are, the scene is great. You're, you know, calling on them. They say the next thing, something you can really work with. But even if they're not paying attention, tap on them. They're right in it. They're like always ready. The teacher can call on her, always ready to give a snappy answer.
Okay, can I say two? He would be the host of Just a Minute, or he would be the narrator of a movie or typewriter.
No, it has to be Just a Minute. because like who else can host Just a Minute as well as Mark Anthony does? I think nobody. I think it's just like a role it's just made for him, I think. And those are going to be tough shoes to fill.
I think he's really great at Double Date. I think that's a good one. He's great at popping in and out of characters and using voices and different voices to, you know, characterize characters, and I think that's a game that's really hard technically, and he's great at upholding that structure and expanding creatively within it.
Survivor, because he's always the last survivor for a reason, and I think that he would be that game.
Gut instinct is typewriter because he's an English major, but I think intellectually, my brain says Survivor, if only because he introduced that game to us.
They might also be arms debate. The Esri Mark Anthony arms debate duo, unstoppable.
I'm gonna say wacky, talented, and the sparkle emoji.
Just inspirational? How about the emoji that's like, you know, but not the word quirky, like specifically that emoji.
Kind, the little dude emoji where he's just standing there with his arms just kind of by his side and he's like, oh.
Listening, good at listening, hilaire. The first emoji that came to mind was that purple devil smile one.
Short, sweet, and the lightning bolt.
Understanding and loving. Exclamation point.
Dyed bangs. Tulip.
I think Esri's name in my contacts is actually Esri Cool.
Physicality, unpredictable, and the mind blow emoji.
Okay.
Big smile, and the bass guitar emoji.
Surprising. I don't think she takes up a ton of space in a room, but then all of a sudden, bam, something very funny. I think like creator, like I definitely see her as a person who makes a lot of art.
Chaotic has to be one of the words. Relaxed is the other one. And I think the emoji for Y is, it's the clown face emoji, because Y is a clown.
Chill. Authentic. And then I'd probably put a little heart.
Bassist. After my own heart. Artist. After my own smart. And a checkered flag emoji. After my own start. Or no, that's a finish. Fuck.
Awesome. I'm also gonna say just inspirational. And then I would probably put just a fire emoji next to him. Talented and quick wit. And for an emoji, I'd probably say the shocking face, because I'm so shocked.
I'll go with enthusiastic, unique, and the microphone emoji.
I think receptive would be one of my words. I definitely think like musically talented, that can count as one idea. Maybe the emoji that's like imagine it wasn't blushing and it was just looking at you.
Just big eyes.
Just big eye emoji looking at you.
Lovely, funny, and the vanilla ice cream emoji.
So I'd say voice and smiley, because I feel like Isabel's always smiling and I like that. I'm really going with my gut on this one, and I'm getting the flame, like the fire emoji.
Brilliant, silly, and a sweater emoji.
What I thought of were the two words that I enjoy hearing him say the most, which are hey and awesome. And then it would be the book emoji, because English major.
Verbose, silly, intellectual.
I think kind, and maybe insightful as my other word, which I think would be the emoji that's a little bit nervous. One of the nervous emojis.
Joyous, but not just like is happy himself, but makes other people happy too. So it's a two-way street on that one. And the second one, like goblin, because he's got like a goblin vibe, but in the best way possible, where it's just like always fun, but like it can be serious when you need to be. And do you know the troll emoji, the new troll one? It's a troll. He's got like a little stick. all of these emojis that I'm naming people as, if I had more thought, they wouldn't be what I'm saying now. But like, I'm just going with my gut. And improv has taught me to trust what I think initially. Mark Anthony confided in me. He was like, Alexandra, you are my camera. Like in a sitcom, when someone does something and you just look at the camera, that Mark Anthony said I am his camera, and I felt the same way about him. And so I was just really happy that we had that level of connection. And I just want that to be included in the film because I think it's important.
Well, I would like to say to our seniors who are graduating, congratulations, and I've really loved doing improv with all of you, and I hope that I see you again, and that I hope that you have a very nice time in whatever it is you do next. And I specifically would like to thank Esri and Mark Anthony for co-leading and also for being just so inspirational.
It's going to be very difficult, I think. And you know what? I'm doing this to camera because I'm not fucking around. It's going to be very difficult, this send-off, because I have been away for the semester and I haven't been a part of whatever very special and I assume very memorable improv experiences that have come to pass. And so it's sort of hard to say goodbye when I feel like I have only just briefly come here to say hello again. But all I can say is that I wish you well in your future endeavors, and I was very happy, if only briefly, to have been a part of this improv troupe with you. Thank you.